Good morning everyone. Welcome back to Grade 4 English class. Hope you all are doing great. In the previous class, we learned the story The Empty Pot and we also discussed a few exercises from the same. Today, we'll see the rest of the exercise from the chapter. So first, we'll be discussing the grammar section. After that, let's discuss the listening exercise. Then, we'll see the spelling exercise. Then, the punctuation exercise and then the writing exercise. So let's start with the grammar section. So in page number 4 of your English workbook, you can see the grammar section. And here it talks about the different types of nouns. We have already learned what are nouns and the different types of nouns. Here, the question is for section A, read the sentences, identify the different types of nouns. Put them in the correct column. One has been done for you. So you can see 8 sentences are given here. Below these sentences, there is a table given. There are 3 columns in the table. One is for writing the proper nouns that you have identified from among these 8 sentences. The next column is to write the common nouns from among these sentences. And the third column is to identify and write the collective nouns that you have identified from these sentences. So let's see the first 2 sentences. So for example, if you take the first sentence, Tanvi has brought a bouquet of flowers from the garden. Can you identify the proper noun in this sentence? Tanvi. It's a name. So names are examples of proper nouns. So the first question is already worked out in the textbook. So you can see the word Tanvi, which is a proper noun, is written in the column named proper. And in the same sentence, you can see the words flowers and garden. These are examples of common nouns. So these words are written in the column called common. And then in the same sentence, you can see the word bouquet, which represents a collection of flowers. So the word bouquet is an example of a collective noun and it is written in the column called collective. Take the next sentence. Question number 2. Ravi climbed down the flight of stairs. So which is the proper noun in this case? Ravi. And which is the common noun? Stairs is a common noun given here and you see it's given flight of stairs. So the word flight here is an example of a collective noun. Similarly, identify the different types of nouns in the rest of the sentences given here and categorize them into the different types of nouns and write them in this table given here in the textbook. So once you are done with that, you can move on to section B. Let's see what we have got there. In section B, the question is match each subject with a predicate to form a sentence. Then write the sentences in the given space. So what is a subject and a predicate? So if you take a sentence, who or what the sentence is about, that is called the subject of the sentence. And what this subject is doing or the action done by this subject is called the predicate. That we have already learned in our previous classes. So here you can see a table. Each sentence here is divided into the subject and predicate and they are mixed up. You have to find the right match for each subject and predicate given in this table. For example, the first question, the dancers. This is the subject here and in the next column, the right side column, we can see a few predicates. Identify a suitable predicate from among this. You see the option E, are practicing for the show. This predicate matches the subject, the dancers. So let's complete the sentence and rewrite here in the space given as the dancers are practicing for the show. Take the next example, traveling. Can you identify a right match for a predicate? The lions are roaring in the jungle. So that makes sense. So similarly, find the right matches and complete each of the sentences given here and write in the space provided in the textbook. So once you are done with that, move on to section C. So let's see what we have got there. In section C, complete each sentence with a suitable subject or predicate. The first one, I dash. Here the subject is given. The subject here is I. You have to add a suitable predicate. For example, I like going to school. So here I is the subject, like going to school is a predicate. You can write your own predicates there. The second one, dash have not come to school. Here the subject is not given. So since it is given have, it means the subject is not just one, but it is a plural subject. So here the word have means that the subject is not singular but plural. If the subject was singular, we would have used has not. So since it is given have not, it means the subject is plural. So for example, we can write something like Misha and Richa have not come to school. So there are two people mentioned here, which means the subject is plural. You can write any subject as you like. Similarly, complete the rest of the sentences from the exercise before moving on to the next section. Which is the next section? This is the listening exercise. Here, you have to listen to a passage on honesty and complete these sentences by choosing the correct option. So, I'll read out a passage to you about honesty. Listen to it carefully so that you can complete the questions given here. So, listen to this very carefully. Benjamin Franklin, the famous leader from the history of United States of America, said, "Honesty is the best policy." People often forget that honesty is an important virtue and should be taught at a young age. The elders in the family and society should consider it as their responsibility to teach children the importance of leading an honest life. However, by not checking them at a young age, we are not making them realize the importance of this virtue. It is important to learn that lying can only save us for a short while and the truth eventually does come up. We must aspire to lead an honest life and be strong enough to be honest and face the outcome of our actions rather than lie and live in fear of the truth being known in the future. So I hope you have listened to the passage carefully. If needed, you can replay this video and listen to it again and then answer the questions given here. Now the next section is the spelling exercise. This is to form as many words as you can from the word childhood. So here you are given the word childhood. So from the word childhood, you have to form new words. For example, childhood. Child is one word, hood is another word. You can write the word do or did. Try to find out more and more words and you can write them here in the space provided. Now shall we move on to the next section? This is the punctuation exercise. So here in the punctuation exercise, you are asked to punctuate these sentences and rewrite them in the space given. Use capital letters where necessary. So when you punctuate these sentences, remember to use capital letters, comma, full stop, inverted commas or question mark or exclamation mark wherever necessary. For example, the first question given here, Manya wants to be a doctor when she grows up. So here the word Manya is a name. We always write a name with the first letter capitalized, and whenever we end a sentence, we put a full stop. So let's see how we can punctuate this sentence. Manya wants to be a doctor when she grows up. See, the letter M is capitalized and then we put a full stop after the word up to mark that the sentence ends there. Similarly, punctuate the rest of the sentences given here also correctly and write them in the space provided in the textbook. Now let's discuss the next section. This is the writing exercise. Here you are asked to imagine you are Chan. Write a letter to your friend telling him or her how your life will change now that you will be the future king of Shin's kingdom. You may write about how surprised you were on being chosen as the king and the responsibilities you will now have to shoulder. Here in this exercise, you are asked to imagine that you are Chang and you are writing an informal letter to a friend, telling him or her about how lucky you were to be chosen as the soon-to-be king of Xian's kingdom. So we have learned there is a specific format for writing informal letters. At the top left side of the page, you have to write the sender's or the writer's address. After that, you write the date, and after that, you write the opening salutation. Then you will have the body of the letter, and then you will conclude the letter. Then you will have the subscription, and after that, you have to give the sender's name or signature. Following this format, please do write an informal letter. You can write the letter here in this textbook itself in the space provided. So children, I hope all the exercise we discussed today are clear to you. Let me remind you the homework once again. Go through the story once again and make sure you complete all the exercise and submit it through Microsoft Teams. So that's all for today children. We'll meet in the next class with a new chapter. Till then, bye.